Hey, quick question. Have you ever looked back at a situation with a woman and thought, wait a minute, was I even making my own choices? If you felt like your mind was tied up in knots and your emotions were being remote controlled, yeah, it wasn't random. Some women, not all, but the ones who master these dark arts, they know exactly what they're doing. And if you don't recognize the signs early, you can wake up one day feeling like a puppet in your own life story. Today we're pulling back the curtain, exposing the psychological games that manipulate your logic, exploit your emotions, and bend your reality. And trust me, once you see them, you can't unsee them. Buckle up. This is about to get uncomfortable, but in the way that saves you years of wasted energy. Let's get into it. 1. The guilt trap. Twisting your morals against you. It usually starts small. You're doing something completely normal, working late, meeting up with friends, investing time into your dreams. Then comes the look, the sigh, the casual, offhanded, wow. Must be nice to have all this free time when people who care about you are waiting. At first you shrug it off. Maybe you even apologize. You think, I don't want her to feel neglected, but that's the opening. The guilt trap is a slow drip. It's not about one dramatic argument, it's about 1,000 tiny pinches, each one making you doubt whether you're selfish just for living your life. And here's the evil genius of it. The guilt doesn't attack your logic. It attacks your identity. It makes you question if you're even a good man. And once that seed of doubt is planted, it grows wild. You start prioritizing appeasing her feelings over honoring your own values. That's exactly where she wants you. Because when guilt steers your choices, you're easier to control. You stop asking, what do I want? You start asking, how can I avoid making her upset? And in that moment, you're no longer free. You're reacting instead of leading. Real love doesn't manipulate your moral compass against you. Real connection enhances your integrity. It doesn't weaponize it. The antidote? Catch it early. If you notice yourself constantly apologizing for things that aren't wrong, constantly rearranging your goals to keep someone temporarily happy, stop. Check yourself. Ask, am I being fair to myself right now? Am I honoring what matters to me? Or am I being guilt-tripped into surrendering who I am? Healthy relationships are based on mutual respect, not emotional ransom notes disguised as love. 2. Gaslighting, rewriting your reality. You're not crazy. You're not imagining things. But if a woman's using gaslighting against you, you'll start doubting your own sanity faster than you think. Gaslighting is psychological warfare. It doesn't just argue with you, it attacks your sense of reality itself. It looks like this. You catch her texting an ex, and somehow after the conversation, you're the one apologizing for being paranoid. She says something cruel, you react, and suddenly you're the sensitive one who can't take a joke. You bring up an issue, and she flips it, saying you're the real problem. It's dizzying. You walk away from every disagreement feeling more confused than when you walked in. You start thinking, maybe I am overreacting, maybe I am too emotional, maybe I do expect too much. Pause. Think back. When you're alone, when no one's whispering in your ear, what does your gut say? Because here's the thing. Gaslighting is designed to sever you from your instincts. It's designed to make you outsource your truth to someone else's approval. And once you're cut off from your own reality, you're vulnerable. You're easier to control, easier to manipulate, easier to keep stuck. Now, not every disagreement is gaslighting. People are allowed to see things differently. But if you notice a pattern where every issue somehow becomes your fault, if apologies always flow in one direction, if you feel less confident the longer you stay, You're not being loved. You're being controlled. The only cure for gaslighting is brutal self-trust. Not arrogance, not ego, just a quiet, grounded loyalty to what your eyes see and what your soul knows. Trust yourself. You don't need a permission slip to believe what you experienced. 3. The hot and cold game. Addiction through uncertainty. There's a twisted psychological trick that creates obsession. Unpredictability. It's called intermittent reinforcement, and it's straight out of a lab rat experiment. Give a rat a reward every time he presses a lever, he gets bored fast. Give him a reward only sometimes, at random intervals. He'll keep pressing the lever like a man possessed. Guess what? Some women use this exact dynamic. At first, it's incredible. She showers you with attention. She texts non-stop. She makes you feel like the king of her world. And then, silence. A day, 2 days, no explanation. Then boom, she's back, sweet as ever, acting like nothing happened. You're confused, but relieved. You think, maybe she was just busy. But then it happens again. The cold shoulder, the unpredictable moods, the sudden withdrawal, followed by intense affection. Welcome to the addiction cycle. Your brain gets trained to crave her approval like a junkie craves a fix. You start working harder for smaller scraps of validation, and because the good moments feel so amazing, you tolerate more and more disrespect just to taste that high again. It's not love, it's manipulation. And it's dangerous, because the longer you stay locked in that push-pull dynamic, the harder it becomes to walk away. You start thinking, maybe I just need to be better. Maybe if I give more, love harder, she'll be consistent. No, brother. Consistency is a choice, not a prize you win by suffering. The right woman won't treat your heart like a yo-yo. She'll show up steadily, not just when it's convenient for her power trip. If you notice the cycle, break it. Walk away before you confuse addiction with love. Your peace isn't something you should have to earn. It's the baseline requirement for anyone who wants access to your life. 4. Emotional withholding, weaponizing affection. You know that sinking feeling when someone you care about suddenly becomes distant, not mad, not arguing, just cold. Like a wall went up overnight and you're standing outside barefoot in the snow, knocking, begging to be let back in. This is emotional withholding. It's one of the quietest and most brutal manipulation tactics out there. Because unlike yelling or insults, withholding affection doesn't leave bruises. It leaves emptiness, a hollow ache. And here's how the cycle usually works. You do something that displeases her, maybe something small. Instead of addressing it openly, she withdraws. She becomes cold, distant, disinterested, as if punishing you. You feel rejected, confused, anxious. You chase. You apologize, overcompensate, jump through hoops trying to get her back. And every time you chase, you're training yourself to accept emotional starvation as normal. You start to believe, if I work harder, she'll love me again. If I sacrifice more, I'll get her warmth back. It's an emotional hostage situation. Instead of being loved for who you are, you're being tested like a dog earning treats. And make no mistake, this isn't about love, it's about control. It's about teaching you that her affection is conditional, that your peace and happiness are privileges she can grant or deny, depending on how well you behave. Think about that. Real love isn't a carrot dangling at the end of a stick. It's a steady fire. It might flicker during hard times, but it doesn't disappear as punishment. The moment you find yourself begging for basic warmth, you're no longer in a healthy relationship. You're in an emotional prison. You don't have to live there. You are worthy of love that doesn't have strings attached. You are worthy of affection that doesn't need to be earned through obedience. Remember, if someone can control you through silence, they own you. Reclaim your power. Stop knocking on a door that only opens when it's convenient for someone else's ego. Walk toward the light, not the cold. 5. Future. Faking. Selling dreams they don't mean. It's easy to spot manipulation when it's cruel. It's harder to spot when it's wrapped up in promises, big promises, beautiful ones, the kind that make your heart race at 3 a.m. because you believe, maybe, finally, you found something real. This is future faking, and it's one of the most intoxicating traps out there. Here's how it happens. She paints vivid pictures of a life together, talks about traveling the world, buying a house, getting married, maybe even names your future kids. And you, caught up in the dream, let your guard down. You invest, you compromise, you sacrifice, because you're not just investing in the present, you're investing in the future she promised. The problem, she never intended to build it. For her, it was never about actually fulfilling those dreams. It was about using those dreams to anchor you, to keep you hopeful, to keep you loyal, to make you overlook red flags because, hey, we're building something big, right? We're soulmates, remember? But time keeps passing. The promises stay promises, and the actions, they never match the words. You realize painfully that you were sold a beautiful illusion. And the heartbreak isn't just about losing her. It's about losing the future you thought you were moving toward. Real love isn't a sales pitch. It's 1,000 small actions that add up to something solid and unshakable. Don't buy castles made of air. Build your own fortress of truth and invite only those who can meet you on solid ground. Look, this wasn't an easy conversation. I know it's uncomfortable hearing this. You want to believe the best in people. You want to believe love is pure, simple, fair. And it can be, but only if you first protect yourself from the people who would rather use you than love you. Manipulation thrives in the dark. The second you shine a light on it, the second you see it for what it is, you take back your power. You stop being a pawn. The more you trust yourself, the faster you spot real love from fake affection. Because now you know, you don't chase emotional scraps. You don't beg for basic respect. You don't settle for a fantasy someone else is too lazy to build. You become the kind of man who is his own home, solid, safe, unbreakable. And from that place, you attract real love, or nothing at all. And honestly, you'll never settle for less again. If this hits something real inside you, if you're done falling for the games and you're ready to step into real strength, then stick around. Hit that subscribe button. We're building something here, a brotherhood of men who see clearly, think sharply, and love with their eyes wide open. No sugarcoating, no fairy tales, just the raw, unfiltered truth you need to live free. Subscribe, and let's keep walking this road together.